The flames never reached their cages, but the fire came close enough to change everything. As wildfires tore across central Spain, lions, elephants, and rhinos waited behind fences, surrounded by smoke, sirens, and chaos. The people fled, the animals couldn't. And even now, a relentless heatwave threatens to bring the flames back. Smoke drifted over lion enclosures. Sirens wailed past elephant paddocks. For 6 days, Safari Madrid sat on the edge of a wildfire that scorched the countryside around it. Its animals left to wait out the danger behind their fences. The wildlife park, west of the capital in Aldea del Fresno, shut its doors as flames spread through the region, forcing the animals to endure the smoke, sirens, and constant movement of fire engines and police vehicles without ever being moved from the grounds. Tigers, elephants, and rhinoceroses were among those left exposed to the chaos unfolding just beyond the fences. Nearby, the fire's reach was stark. Drone footage from July 30th showed a farm near Pelayos de la Presa, 65 kilometers west of Madrid, reduced to blackened earth, its goats picking through scorched pasture that had once been green. The park reopened on July 29th, and by the following morning, the animals that had weathered the fire showed little sign of what they had been through. Ostriches and dromedaries trotted toward passing cars hoping for food, lions napped in the shade, and alligators basked in the sun as though the danger had never passed so close. By July 30th, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez had lifted the state of emergency covering the Madrid and Ávila regions, where the fires had forced tens of thousands of people from their homes. Authorities said the flames had stopped spreading, but the danger has not fully passed. A heat wave gripping the region threatens to reignite fires in the same areas west of Madrid, where more than 25,000 hectares, nearly 62,000 acres, have already burned. For the animals of Safari Madrid, the fire came close enough to fill the air with smoke and the sound of sirens. What it left behind, for now, is a scorched landscape just beyond their fences, and a heatwave that means the threat is far from over.
Fires and what we've seen in France. I've just seen them to consult Meteorological France. They are the experts on that. They're obviously doing. To what extent have meteorological conditions impacted the wildfires in Spain? Hugely, absolutely hugely. You know, we've had heat wave after heat wave after heat wave. In the past few weeks, we have got very, very, very dry soils in in many parts of Europe, and I think from memory, quite early on, back in I think late May, the Spanish Prime Minister back then warned that this would be a very, very bad fire season. Just since this press conference started, I mean, my phone has been pinging non-stop. Fires are not started by the weather alone. Quite often they can be started by dry lightning, but there can be a number of causes, be it technical problems, electricity lines, humans, arson, dropping cigarettes, etc. But the conditions for the fire weather in Spain, obviously, unfortunately, in France, in parts of Switzerland, are there. And climate change, more extreme heat will certainly, aggravate the risk of fire weather, won't necessarily lead to an overall increase in wildfires, but it certainly does increase the risk of fire weather. It's not, wildfires, it's not just a case of heat. It's also, as we know, dry soils. Its wind direction has a big impact on the spread of the fires. And what we've seen in France, I've just seen the most incredible image of a cumulonimbus cloud, which is, it's like the big uh, storm cloud. It's the king of clouds, and this was created by by the fire. And from what colleagues told me, it's the first time they've actually seen that in France, and it's where the fire literally creates its own weather.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just since this press conference started, I mean, my phone has been pinging nonstop with extreme heat alerts from, from Meteo Suisse. So we are in for another extreme event, the latest in, unfortunately, a series, combined with extreme drought. The Alps, in terms of